Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2. Let me introduce to you the Red Zerg in the bottom left of Royal Blood, in my not so humble opinion, the most entertaining player in the game right now, the final boss. It's Dark. And up against him yet again in the top right, I give you the People's Terran. It is Cure. A decision to see who's going to move on, who's going to move out. A best of 3 ZVT in the Global StarCraft League. These two, I think, inevitably going to meet. And, well, it's a matchup I always like to see, and I hope it's a matchup you can always like as well. Jimmy, what are we at? 1,086 likes. If we get 1,086 likes, I'll cast another series. Statistically likely to be Dark versus Cure. But, thank you for tuning in. I'll probably do it anyways. I hope you've had a good day so far. And I hope it's about to get a little bit better. Unlike for these Zerglings dealing with the 2-Rags Reaper out of Cure, Beyond has brought Reapers back, but in a much more moderated fashion. The 2-Rags Reaper, just for keeping control of the situation. If you're on top of your micro, you're able to keep the Zerglings pinned back in the base and establish your... Okay, Cure, what is this? That doesn't look right. Trying to set up those add-ons. He's got the Threepers. Threeper expand. He does want to have space for... Well, that is a curious setup indeed. I'm not sure if this... I mean, so, you know, as long as that's actually a wall, which it looks weird, but I think it might be, it protects the tech lab, which is normally a sticking point. As the Zerglings, depending on the side of the map, the Zerglings might be able to snipe it off. Here, almost gets the clean. And this does prevent that from happening. So would, of course, lifting the barracks back into the main. But I like this style better. What's this Marine doing? Marine heading across the map. Maybe still on the same rally point here. Probably not going to get it Overlord, but you know what? Give it a shot. The People's Terran indeed. I can't tell you how many times I do that when I try to go Reaper and end up with 1 or 2 Marines wandering across the map. Kier just trying to prove his place as the People's Terran. Wanders back. Just scouting, boys. How you doing out here? Good? Good? You need, like, water or anything? Nope. Alright, I'll head back. Alright. They put them in power armor. They think they can get away with anything. The Zerglings get the jump on the Reapers, but the Reapers are able to jump off the balcony. Just 1, actually. Really thought 2 would get away, but Dark snaps up 2 out of 3 Reapers. And now enough Zerglings to keep the 3rd base from being able to land for quite a bit. There really aren't that many Marines. They're actually locked up. Yeah, Cure. I'm not convinced on the add-on placement here. Just all pretending to be gathering around the supply depot. But I'm pretty sure the Marines are popping out on the outside, which, as long as they don't get pinned up against the depot by Zerglings, it is probably fine. But Overlord speed from Dark. Wow. Definitely looking for whatever he can find, but in a much more active manner than usual. He gets in, he sees the 3rd command center, he sees Cloak for the Banshees. Cure has pulled the Cloak Banshees on him before. His mass Marine into Cloak Banshee, it doesn't really make much sense from, it's not particularly intuitive. As when you go for mass Marine, you usually want the medevacs as quick as possible to complement them, right? So Cure has actually won games, or at least 1 game, against Dark, where he just straight up did not build any detection, because in my mind, and I think in Dark's mind, it was so dumb to go Cloak Banshee. But now, Cure demanding respect, Dark actually goes for Overlord speed and confirms that Banshees are indeed the choice, despite the mass Marine play behind it. Dark is building 3 hatcheries at a time. Alright, 1 in his main, 1 at his 4th, 1 at his 5th. I'll let you decide which one's which. The double Cloak Banshee headed in. Dark actually spotted either the Cloak. He may have heard the Cloak with the Banshees in the main. Dark is at 60-something drones. That's going to be whittled down just a few. Wow, a lot of Marines already out. Double medevac on the way. The Banshees do force a response, and that's part of what is that 2 Overlords? And, oh my god, he's doing Baneling drops. What year is it? He knows he's up against, well, 4 Bane drops on either side. Okay, it's been quite a while since I've seen anyone go for this. Especially against Terran. Especially without upgrades. There's a lot of caveats here, but we will see how Cure handles it. He's already got 65 SCVs, but the Banelings could do a number on that. Let's go to the Cure action cam. Oh no. Oh no, he's not looking at all. Oh, oh my god, he looks back. Ah, oh no. He didn't even bother running the SCV. He doesn't even care. Did he not? Wow. He runs the SCVs away now. He's putting together his push. Wow, Cure. He saw the Overlord and just didn't even move. I think he assumed it had already dropped whatever it was going to. 16 SCVs dead to Bane drops. Well, not a great start for Cure here, but he still has plenty of army supply on the field. Multiple siege tanks, takes down one of the hatcheries. Another Ling drop heading in towards the main. Hydralisk now on the way for Dark. He did the double expand partially to have the ability to just retreat. He sent his drones to the bottom right corner. He's at 81 workers. He can't afford to lose much more than this. Zerglings are actually just dropping in. Another round of Lings and Banes, joined by the Hydralisk in the main. Dark has the larva. He has 1-1 done, so the upgrades, Cure doesn't have too much going for him on that front. More Banelings. Whittle away at some of the Marines. And are also rolling in. There's an SCV stuck in the back corner over there. But there's nothing. Oh my god. Cure taking a lot of damage. 6 more SCVs down. Finally, the Overlord will be taken out with everything inside. Jimmy. Oh, thank you. Infestation pit. All right. We have a second factory for Cure, who has been shrugging off all these losses in typical Cure fashion. He's almost back up to 70 SCVs, 2 finishing up. His army supply finally getting a little outstripped by Dark, who has been sitting on more than enough drones for quite a bit. 184 now. How many Zerglings on the field? 71 and counting. He's got 20 more in production. Cure targets down. Cancels a hatch. Rebuilt immediately by Dark. Another drop, trying to keep control of the creep in the right side of the map. Hive is on the way. Cure's relentless macro continues. Dark has yet to get to the Hive. He hasn't started a lurker den either. So it looks like he's sticking to the Hydraling Bane. But up against mass siege tank. Well, Vipers can help dismantle the defense, but Vipers are quite a bit off here. As Cure still with a comfortable amount of army supply, and he's got 72 SCVs to back it up, as well as the 2-2 upgrades and 3-3 starting already. So, Cure, he'll take the punches. And he'll hit back. It's kind of like trying to stop a freight train with Cure. Alright. No matter what you throw under the wheels, he may just grind through you. Zerglings and Banelings looking to counter. No sensor tower comes up just in time to realize. Maybe gives him the extra moment to pull the SCVs away. Cure scrambles back. Good split against the Banes. Not finding much else. Couple siege tanks. Changeling. Block. Hey, could you move, sir? Sir? Adrenal glands. Still, very notably, no Vipers. And no Lurker Den. which means Cure is going to be fully maxed out on pretty much the best mid-game Terran army you can get. Marines and tanks, 125 army supply. But it's so many Marines, and they're all clumped up here. The Banelings, most of them got targeted. The rest of the Banelings trying to roll up the ramp, but the sheer firepower of the Terran army is enough to hold for now. He shaves off a couple tanks, but Dark is unable to crush the main brunt of the Marines. And that means they'll continue forward. Concussive shells now on the way. Getting 4 Marauders at a time as Kira realizing he might need a little bit more meat in front of the Banelings. +1 ranged attack for Dark about to complete as well. So investing in those Hydralisks. Vipers out on the field. They'll still need a little time to gain energy. Kira working towards 3-3. Siege tanks in a great position. Hatchery under fire. 3-3 is going to be the decider. Does Kira have enough left over to work it here? Losing Lings and Banes, but the Marines shaved away as well. Both sides still maintaining near or at 200 supply despite any losses on the field. As Dark, he has the energy now. This is a big moment. Parasitic Bomb on the Medivacs, which are already low on energy, forced to split away. Blinding Cloud on just one of the tanks. Not much energy for more. Kier kiting back through the Blinding Cloud. No, it's disastrous! Or is it? It's unclear. The Blinding Cloud looked like it pushed a lot of the Marines and Marauders forward, as they couldn't find a shot, but Dark ends up turning around, and now 3-3 is done for Kier. The Terran parade push continues across the field. No matter how many Marines and Marauders and tanks he loses, all that matters is whether he has the ability to replace them. The Medevac's bruised, but still in the fight. Well, loses one more. Banelings roll again. Huge counterattack at the third. Clearing out some of the SCVs, forcing the rest on the run. Kier does have a 4th base. He's still maintaining enough economy. No lurkers for Dark means he has no easy ability to hold a location. He has to rely on continually sending units out to engage the Marines and Marauders. Here come the Vipers. Blinding clouds on both tanks. There's not that much bio left underneath. Takes out the tanks. Maybe gets some of the Medivacs here. 14 SCVs down. It looks like the counterattack is continuing on the other side. Kira is yet to clear it up. Hydras working their way forward. Reinforcements hit the field from Kira. And the Medivacs mostly exhausted on energy. There are still Zerglings running through, but Kira Relentless is grinding his way up the ramp. Dark casts him back down. The Medivacs have been whittled down to 2. The Queen's actually getting involved in the fight. The Mules will drop, but Cure's supply has dipped dramatically. He's down to 125, 60 SCVs. He has no more upgrades to get for his bio, and he's already got +2 mech weapons for his siege tanks, which means he's reached his peak, and now Dark can only catch up to it. He's been fighting with less cost-effective units overall, but now he's finishing up. He finished up +3 Carapace, +2 missile attacks is on the way. 5 seconds out. +3 melee is only about 20. And once those are all complete, Cure has walled off... Ah, yes, the People's Terran. He has walled off his siege tanks behind his... Yes, he could just lower the depot. Oh, my God. Oh, it's getting worse. Oh, and 4 siege tanks would be very helpful out on the field here against Dark. As Blinding Clouds have removed 2 of them. Oh, and Kier still holds for now. Oh my God. It's bad. Oh, it's really bad. I think select all army hotkey. They're trying to get out. I knew that wall off was awkward, but little did I know. Oh, this is what I mean when I say Kier is the People's Terran. Oh, not another one. Oh no. They keep piling in. Oh, it's like those car crashes in the snow. You can see it coming, but they can't stop. I don't... Oh my God, this is actually a disaster. This is horrible. Oh my God. Oh, he notices! The cavalry has arrived! I wonder, I would love to see Kira's face right now. I bet a studied lack of expression. This happens every other game. Alright. It is so much easier to do than you'd think. Well, with 5 new tanks on the field, or 6, I don't know how many it got to be. Well, Cure still isn't maxed out here. 8 Dropper Lords. For what? Is he just gonna hit the main? Parasitic Bomb. The medevacs implode over empty space with whatever they had inside. He's gonna drop the main with whatever he has. A Doom Drop from Zerg. Dark, not bothering with lurkers when he could have Hydras, Lings, and Banes. He's got money in the bank. Kira's been struggling to defend all sides here. And another dimension of attack, not bothering with the Nidus, but instead trusting in the Overlords. Unloads. Ghost pops out into a questionable place. The medevacs, the Zerglings are ripping through the base. And meanwhile, Dark is overrunning the field. Marines and Marauders step to reinforce. 11 SCVs in the main, but the Terran army mostly comes back. The Cure noticed the burrow. The Overlords will try to escape. He could maybe line up some snipes, but Cure, yeah, he did. +3 ranged attack done. Some of the add-ons were destroyed, but overall, Cure is able to stop the bleeding rather quickly. Lose another medevac. Cure has lost so much throughout this, but Dark has lost more. 600, well, Cure's actually lost 2k more gas. 600 Zerglings. Cure actually lost so many supply depots. He lost so many supply depots that he supply blocked at 163 over 155. That's the real damage here. Another orbital forced to lift. Dark is overwhelming the map right now. A lot of Banelings trying to morph in. And they roll... oh no. Some of the Marines left behind, but something of an efficient trade there for Cure. 3-3 done across the board, +2 mech weapons. Ghost Cloak. But Cure has been struggling to get to 200 supply, where Dark is figuring out how to spend his. There's Lings and Banelings everywhere. Even if he retreats, there's... oh my god, another base down. Dark is overwhelming Cure. It looks all but inevitable here. The siege tank traffic jam certainly didn't help. But the sheer amount of Zerg on the field is too much for Cure to handle. The Ghosts don't have a real target. That he can't seem to find any locations to reliably defend, as Dark is willing to lose 8 Overlords of units just to drag Cure out of position. And now, what could be the last fight? The Banelings coming in from the north and the south. The Viper looking for a target of any kind. The Hydra's ripping through the Ghosts, and Dark takes it on royal blood. Well, certainly a dramatic game indeed. Cure a little shaky there. And Dark never really let up the pressure. Yeah, sure, he took some damage. He lost the base on the low ground in front of his main. Not even his third, I think that was his fourth at the time, but calculated losses in the grand scheme of things, and the final boss off to a strong start. Cure? I mean, I wouldn't read into it too much, as overall, I think Cure's macro is, as always, on point. Just massive amounts of unit production to replace the massive amounts of units he's losing on the field. And while those 5 or 6 siege tanks might not have changed the game, I do think the timing at which it happened, which is right when Cure, before Dark had all his upgrades, before Dark had comfortably essentially taken the map, and Cure's defending the center of the map, those tanks should have been on offense. Those tanks should have been supporting a bio push on one of those ridiculous choke point locations where Zerg has to go through with Lings and Banes and get slammed by siege tank fire. Having 2 tanks is, and this is true, much less than having 8 tanks as part of your push.
The numbers don't lie.
So,
and they spell disaster for you.
A disastrous yet relatable mistake from Cure, I think, definitely dictated the pace of the game. And Dark doesn't let you fall behind too far. I love the Overlord drops. I don't think they were a huge game changer, but I like how that idea's in his head. I feel like maybe he has, I don't know about a notebook, but maybe like a bronze tablet, which is a perfect analogy of strategies that no one uses. That occasionally he's like, Baneling drops against Terran. Been a while. Just gotta put that in their heads. So, Cure with the Threepers again. And this time, a more conventional, if vulnerable setup to the add-ons. The Zerglings are just ignoring. Cure going with the Threeper into 3cc. Alright, the Queen out here. Brenda, be careful! Be careful. Susan, calm down. I know what I'm doing. Well, the Reapers. Just zoning. Will we actually get the third? The Queens are very, very slow. Inevitably closing it. He dodges a grenade. Can't dodge the second. I don't think he's gonna get it, but it's going to be a liability for quite a while. Hatcheries regenerate, but very, very slowly. Well, a bit of an awkward... Oh, no! Ah! Unfortunate creep tumor snipe. Cure making a lot of progress with the Reapers. The Lings didn't end up doing much. Oh, smartly done. Just a single Reaper up to the... Doesn't want to risk them all. Wow. Wow, this is so greedy. This is the greediest Terran follow-up. Cure. We used to call this going full Terran, which was a nice way to say, I can't believe they're getting away with this. Cure goes for... I guess it's not as greedy as it was back in Wings of Liberty, where you go 1 barracks, 3cc into double NG bay. And then you'd complain if Zerg attacks before, like, the 8-minute mark. At least the Threepers are able to keep control, keep scouting, put some pressure on. And it is 2 racks behind. It isn't just the one. But it is 3cc into double engineering bay, which is about as much investment as in infrastructure as you can get reliably this early on. Past that, it's just, you don't even have the ability to produce. 4 CCs. Well, we haven't seen it yet. It appears 3 is the number. I don't know the math, but I think 4 CCs might be pushing it. Dark is just gonna try to bust. He's had enough of these greedy Terrans. He doesn't get... There's no Banshee behind this. He doesn't know that for sure. But I think he has his suspicions, as Cure is already going for an armory. Oh my god. And that is not for Hellbats. That is not for Widowmine Cloak. He's actually looking to get 2-2 in like the quickest possible fashion you ever could in this sort of scenario. Well, Dark is doing... Did he decide against the Bane Bust? He made 36. I guess it wasn't so much a Bane Bust as having the Zerglings potentially murdering anything on the field, and then having the option for it. I think the Bane Bust actually could have done really well here. But Cure, you know, I think building those Banshees has helped. I think if that Banshee hadn't been produced, and Cure hadn't been using Banshees as like a regular opener lately, Dark would have Bane Busted. Dark would have gone for it. Just assuming it's going to eventually be Medivacs, and there's not really going to be any anti-Baneling options. But he builds 36 Lings and pulls back. Of course, into a very macro-oriented follow-up. He's got four hatches, just finished double Evo, 60-something drones. But I think Cure has forced Dark to respect him, at least in some fashion. But oh my god. Cure started 2-2 before Dark... My god. Last game, Cure had a 2-2 advantage. It wasn't quite enough. But it was still a lot to work with. Now, I think 1-1 will be done slightly before Cure's 2-2, but that is an entire couple minutes of a 2 upgrade advantage, which... And Cure hasn't taken any damage back at home. Wow. Picks up, drops out. He's at 8 racks already. The mass production that Cure is bringing to the table. Will Dark be able to he's got a macro hatch. He's got 67 drones. Cure's building Hellbats. Like, he's actually building them out of the factory, which I can't remember the last time I saw that. Because you could always just transform them. So... Is that a misclick? Or is that... He's building more. It's happening. Hellbats are back. Hellbatman has arrived. Well, Hellbats... Wow, look at this depot wall. Hellbats don't do any friendly fire, only unfriendly fire. Unlike Widow Mines, and to an extent, unlike siege tanks. So a 2-2 Hellbat timing. Oh my. There are 10 Mutas on the way for Dark, which are certainly going to be helpful. But the best defense against Mutas is a good offense, and Cure is knocking on Dark's door right now. What does he have to answer? God, that is a lot of Terran. It's just poorly upgraded Ling Bane and 10 Mutas. The Mutas may try to do something on the other side, but Cure is already tearing through the front. That is a lot of Marines on the back. The Hellbats will actually absorb while they take extra damage. Great splits, textbook. The Mutas on the other side, getting some SCV kills. More Banelings rolling in. Not quite able to close on the main brunt of the Marines and Marauders. 9 SCVs down. Still, the critical mass of bio. There's not a single hint of a turret on the other side. Dark's Mutas may be the only thing standing between him and obliteration. And they fly. They don't stand, which doesn't give him a very good base to stand on, because he might not even have any bases left. At the end of this, the Marines, eventually growing in number, will be able to deal with the Mutas. +2 melee attack is denied. The Spire is taken out. The Bandling Nest, the natural, usually a relatively safe location, has been cleared by Cure. And GG! Cure's full macro Hellbat timing. Just the freight train of Cure overruns Dark's... Well, I don't know. I think Dark didn't really know what to make of that. That was probably expecting the Banshee into the 3cc, but the sheer economy, just the production level that Cure brought to the table, Dark just didn't have... It wasn't nearly enough. The Mutas were never going to be the answer. They might have delayed, but you either need to be greedy yourself. That's why I thought the Baneling Bust was a particularly great idea. Of course, it was impossible for Dark without, like, Overlord speed early, which is an investment in and of itself. It was impossible for Dark to know the Baneling Bust would have been such a great idea. So, I think he was he was expecting maybe a more Beyond style of just walking out with 3 barracks of Marine. I don't know. And neither did Dark. Cure's full macro timing just runs him over. It's kind of crazy. He just didn't have anything against the Mutas, but that didn't matter because he already had so much on the other side. And this is why I say, don't try to be Beyond. Don't try to be Maru. Try to be more like Cure. And if that means sometimes you wall off 6 siege tanks with a single supply depot, so be it. Because otherwise, you're going to be trying to micro Marines, in which case you'll probably run out of them rather quickly. Are we gonna see? No, this time not the 3-per timing on Neo-Humanity. Reaper on the way. Just one. Looks like a more conventional 1-racks expand here. Dark. It looked for a second like Dark might take the Rich Vespine base, and I was very interested to see where that would go. But no. Just dancing away from the Reaper. Yes, will he kill a Ling? Dark has a tendency to make 6 Lings. A lot of players will try to cut the corner. Build 4 or even 2. Oh my. He just builds on the low ground. He builds a 3rd CC. Kier just keeps getting greedier by the game. This is... So... This is 1 Rex... Double... Okay, now he's gone full Terran. But he hasn't built the NG base yet. He's gone 1-1-1. It hasn't just been barracks, but... A 3rd CC on the low ground. What does it save you? Like 2 SCVs in production while you're moving? But those 2 SCVs could be all the economic difference. And if he gets away with it, which it looks like he will, why not? Well, a couple Hellions on the way. Gonna be 4 in total. Viking to start. Does have a tech lab. Keeping options open. I think the Reaper was looking around for a Roach Warren. See if that signature Banshee, the Overlord spotted it, but it was too late to build or to do anything about it. Overlord came in and was already 3/4 done. Probably shakes his head. All right, Kier. It's already... Like, Dark is at 45 drones. He's already at the point where the best defense, or the best way to punish this, is by getting even more greedy. So, the drone count is climbing dramatically here. Already over 50. 4.5 minutes. Gonna see more hatcheries and I assume evolution chambers soon. Adding on 2 more racks is secure, and that won't be the end of it. Just the beginning. This time, Evo chambers before engineering base, which will give Dark, assuming he follows through, an upgrade advantage. We've seen how important that is. He's trying to drop the rocks in the bone trench. It's going to take a bit, but once those are taken down, well, it's not going to hamper any sort of drops too much. But direct tank pushes will take a pretty significant amount more time. Double NG Bay now. You're quite late on that, actually. As Dark is going to have a 30-45 second advantage. Lair just now starting. Dark at 64 drones. Kier just passing 50 SCVs. Another full-on macro game. Setting up some spore crawlers. Did he notice? I don't know if he saw the Banshee. Maybe he's suspecting battle cruiser even. Those spore crawlers are kind of zoning out Liberator battle cruiser. A little bit less for the Banshees, which can hit from any angle pretty much. Burrow on the way. Another one on that bronze tablet of upgrades that people don't get quickly enough, that Dark says. They are about to complete. Oh, the Banshees, a little late, but find the 4th. I don't think it will be saved by the Queens. They're just too far out. Kira is not even bothering to challenge the creep spread. It's already halfway across the map. He's just building a 4th on location. This is some greedy Terran from Kira, but Dark is only at 65 grounds. He's adding a few more now. Kira is actually caught up in workers. He's going up barracks 3, 4, and 5, or 4 and 5, I believe. Finished up. Still no Octo Rex. Plus 1 Carapace done for Dark. Infestation Pit on the way. Hive on the agenda. 2-2 starts. And burrow is complete. So, burrowed banelings on the table. 2 more factories. Ah, truly bio-curious build. As mass siege tank from Cure. Planetary Fortress starts at the 4th. He doesn't even have... He does have an armor. He hasn't started +1 mech weapons or anything yet. Nothing that'll give a better tell. There it is. So siege tanks it is. Here, finally working forward. 8 minutes in before he was able to get the medevacs out in the field to start to control the creep. No reason to let it go any further. Did you know you can destroy these little, are they called rocks? They don't look like rocks at all. Anyways, there's a little, I don't even know what you call them, blockers behind the mineral line. Make it a little easier to take that base. I guess technically you could take it from the back, but less than ideal. Don't get access to the rich Vespine geyser. Cure still working. Ooh, able to pick up. Work around the edges. Hive nearly complete, and while they've both been skirmishing, no meaningful damage done yet on either side. Both players comfortable enough to go to this maxed out 200 supply stage, which in the game on Royal Blood certainly favored Dark. There's the Ultralisk Cavern. Something we haven't seen. Also on that tablet. Ultralisk Cavern. Cure does have a tendency to delay. I believe we saw some burrowed banes connect. Not for much though, as Cure supply shows. Takes out another hatch. So, Cure has a tendency to delay his ghost for quite a while. He likes using the conventional Marine Marauder medevac, throwing some siege tanks, maybe some Mines of Liberators, but ghosts are usually pretty late on the agenda. So, an Ultralisk timing, just for cleaving through any sort of bio-army, and Vipers for dismantling the tanks, either abducting or blinding cloud, could make all the difference. I mean, I'm excited to see Ultras. That is just so many tanks. We'll see how many get walled up behind the supply depot. But so many tanks that, ooh, Parasitic Bomb gets one of the medevacs. I think he's about to spot the Ultra Cavern. Oh my god, he couldn't be any closer. Loses multiple medevacs to Vipers and Queens. Ghost Academy on the way. I mean, the Vipers already spotted, so Ghosts make plenty of sense on their own. Three more command centers, +2 mech weapons still. The triple sensor tower has pretty much full vision of the entire map. Nothing gets by him. 3 hatcheries on the way. I don't know why it's less surprising to see 3 command centers than 3 hatcheries. Hatcheries are cheaper, but of course they don't fly around or activate scans, so... Oh my god. Like 5, I don't know how many command centers. We're going to double digits here momentarily. Dark has, of course, taken most of the bases on his side of the map, if not all on his side of the map. Yeah, he's got all of them. The siege tank count at 10. 128 Zerglings. As Ultras hit the field, a whole bunch of Banelings as well. Dark trying to come in with the Banes. Rolling up and rolling through. Looking for the Planetary. Decides to use the Banes mostly on it. Kier does have a command center right there. He can just drop on over. Banshee's still back at home to help clean up. Just floats the command center over. 100 Zerglings and 6 Ultralisks in the production tab. Well, that is certainly a statement. He's not done hitting Cure. Cure has Hellchads on the way. He's got +2 mech weapons already for the siege tanks, and now adding on the Hellbats. +3 mech weapons, they one-shot, immediately, spontaneously combusting any Zergling. So a pretty huge upgrade there. But in general, pretty good at tanking. We'll see if the tanks are able to do their part. Banelings roll in, a few more SCVs down on every front. Dark testing the waters here. The Banshee's still out on the map. I have not been taken out throughout all this surprisingly long life expectancy. 88 more Zerglings. Dark has managed to lose 313 minutes. Quite a dramatic number. It won't end there. And that's without counting Banelings that attack or otherwise. Spire, Hydra Den, Overlord speed as Dark expands his options. I think he's already realizing that maybe the Ultras aren't going to find the connections. Literally just moving through into these bases is so difficult. But the base in the front, handful of Zerglings split off. The Ultras scamper away. Greater Spire on the way. Yeah, Dark is, he's had enough. The Ultras aren't doing it. The Hellbats might be enough. What is the ghost count now? He's already at 15. He's got 15 ghosts, 10 siege tanks, 12 Hellbats. There's less than 10 Marines and Marauders left. Cure has essentially thrown them into the front lines to be chewed up by the Zerg and replaced them with even more effective units. Nuclear missile, +3 mech weapon. Neo Steel armor. High-sec auto trekkie is complete. Cure has filled in all of the fixins. And now, well, Blinding Cloud will help. Snipes. The Bone Trench actually serving as more of a choke point for Dark now. Trying to come up the ramp. Gets a few ghosts. The production tab still overwhelming. The ghosts actually just moving up. Does he have cloak? He does. Gets out of range of the spores, just pops an ultra. Oh my. Infestors on the field. But I believe that last minute or so has been quite costly for Dark, as Cure has just locked down the map. He's traded out the Marine Marauder, buying time and space to get the ghosts, get the Liberators, the tanks, and the Hellbats. And Dark has not nearly as smoothly. Oh my god, a nuclear missile launched the moment he finished building it. No hesitation on that. He's actually just going to move away because there's no way he's going to go get the ghost. Well, the nuke land softens up the hatch even more. The siege tank should be able to take it out momentarily. Tank. 2 or 3 shots on the hatch. The Hellbat's already hard to kill. The +3 isn't even done yet. Down goes the center base. Dark is maxed out. He's now got Broodlords raining down. But Liberators have split off just to draw any sort of attention. The Hellbats may force the tanks to unsiege, giving opportunity to run through past that. Spore Crawlers are moving up. Where are the ghosts? There's still 14 ghosts. Another Queen taken out. Might even kill a Broodlord with just a single Viking. Oh, the ghosts are on the high ground, standing tall. Though altogether, as Cure has a tendency to be a little less than diligent, snipes off several broods. Ultras working their way through. He does have Neosteel armor and high-sec auto tracking. Cloak ghosts, untouched. The SCVs are repairing. It looks like the Zerglings may be enough. He softens up the base and takes it out, but 2 more Ultras are sniped away. Dark is bleeding supply now. He may get yet another planetary. But Cure, he has 7 orbitals, 2 non-planetaries. He's just floating them over. Cure is not going to be running out of money anytime soon. Dark has now lost 8 Ultras, hundreds of Zerglings, 26 SCVs go down, leaving Kira with a very nice number. And plenty of army supply. And I don't know, it feels weird. Where's the real Dark? Dark, the player who dismantles Kira on a regular basis. But now here in the Global StarCraft League, it appears Kira has brought his A game. Or even one might say Code S game. As Dark not making any headway with these attacks. The first game looked a little dicey, but Kira seems to have shored up his weaknesses. And had all his siege tanks on the field where they were supposed to be. No neural parasite, no nothing. Kira with a decisive victory. As he just walks over Dark. Dark unable to make any of the hive tech work. And Kira in a relatively concise fashion takes the series 2-1. Well, Kira truly the better player on this day. Dark not making any progress. And the People's Terran will be moving on. Alright. Never to be underestimated. Congratulations to Kira. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think that was quite an educational series at the very least. I certainly enjoyed it. I learned a few things. And I empathized. We all wall off our siege tanks sometimes. Thank you for watching. I hope I made your day a little bit better. It'd be awesome if you made it this far and you haven't yet. Hit subscribe so you can be annoyed about the videos, even though they're pretty much every day anyways. Especially if we hit 1,086 likes. So, thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.